Hey guys, today's video is going to be about climate change and its effects on the Middle Eastern biogeography, specifically on how the Dead Sea is shrinking. Just to be clear and dispel some myths, the Dead Sea is not actually a sea. It's more of a really salty lake nestled in between Israel, the West Bank, and Jordan. In fact, it is one of the world's saltiest bodies of water, having about a 33.7% salinity, which is about 8.5 times saltier than the ocean. That means that it is much too salty for most aquatic animals and plants to reside in the vicinity, meaning that the only life forms that exist in or around the Dead Sea are bacteria and microbial fungi. However, the Dead Sea is shrinking at an alarming rate, about 3.5 feet per year. The Dead Sea is the lowest elevation point on Earth, meaning it acts like a basin and all of the rainfall water pours into it. However, in the 1960s, the government of Israel put a pipeline through some of the major water sources the Dead Sea relied upon and diverted them to provide water throughout the country. Another reason the Dead Sea is disappearing is because it is being exploited for the minerals it contains, due to them having many health benefits and being in high demand by big cosmetic companies. The last factor causing the Dead Sea to die is Israel's hot, dry climate, which has only been getting hotter in the recent years due to global warming, making it difficult for the lake to replenish itself. All of this change is important for a few reasons. First and foremost being that the receding water levels are causing massive sinkholes to form, swallowing up bits of road and making the lake less and less accessible. It puts all of the waterfront property in the vicinity at great risk for destruction. The good news, though, is that if you happen to fall through a sinkhole, they name it after you. More importantly, the Dead Sea happens to be located on tectonic rift plates, meaning that any drastic action to the body of water above them could possibly trigger a fairly violent reaction from the tectonic plates underneath, destroying the area. Additionally, the Dead Sea was part of a much larger body of water called the Sea of Galilee, but its outlet to the sea evaporated some 18,000 years ago, leaving behind nothing but salt residues. Since then, the Dead Sea maintains a very delicate cycle of obtaining fresh water at the same rate of evaporation. That is, until recently. Because of the heightened evaporation rates, the Dead Sea will return to equilibrium, but not before losing about a third of its water volume. And this outcome poses a threat to three things: economy, health, and the ecosystem. The Dead Sea is a very popular tourist locale, and people gather from all around the world to swim in its waters and rub Dead Sea mud on their bodies because of its health benefits. The sea also has a lot of ties to religions and cultures from all around the world, and so if it dries up, all of the cash monies that it was bringing in for Israel's government disappears. As I mentioned previously, the Dead Sea contains a plethora of salts and minerals proven to have incredible healing and antiseptic properties. If the Dead Sea dries up, so will its medicinal reservoir and incredible potential for more healing properties. And finally, the ecosystem that the Dead Sea is an essential component of. Despite not being inhabited by many plants and animals itself, the rivers, lakes, estuaries, and other water sources for the Dead Sea harbor hundreds of thousands of species of flora and fauna. The ecosystem's balance and success depends on the water draining out of the sources into the Dead Sea. However, if the Dead Sea starts drying up more rapidly, the water will drain out of the sources at quicker rates than before, and the plants and animals that depend on those bodies of water would die. As of recently, the government of Israel proposed plans to install a pipeline from the Red Sea to the Dead Sea, and drain water from the Red Sea and put it in the Dead Sea. And although a plan for solutions is a start, this proposed plan poses even more threats than idly standing by and letting the Dead Sea dry up does. The outcome of this program, besides being a waste of billions and billions of dollars, is that the lake gets its super salt water because the runoff water that comes into the lake runs through salt flats and washes dissolved salt crystals into the basin. But by refilling the lake via pipeline, the incoming water will have a lower salinity than the water in the lake, and this will cause a dramatic and upsetting shift in the environment. Additionally, the Red Sea would be getting drained at faster rates than it would be getting replenished, creating the same problem with the Red Sea as the Dead Sea has today. Hopefully, in the near upcoming future, the Israeli government will come up with a different and perhaps more efficient plan for saving the Dead Sea. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up down below and hit the subscribe button, or visit our main channel, Evo Seminar Series. Thank you!